Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you are watching for the first time. Click the notification bell, like the video and share it. To those who support us in one way or the other, I want to thank you in a very special way. And let me say a happy new year full of God's blessings ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, battle lines have been drawn, daggers are being brandished between President William Ruto and his predecessor, Uhuru Kenyatta. And they are accusing Uhuru as the man who has taken hostage the opposition, and they are saying that Uhuru Kenyatta has got vested interest to sabotage government agenda, and they are giving him a warning. Listen to Ruto saying that it is Uhuru Kenyatta who is sponsoring the opposition, and then very closely followed by Ndindi Nyoro, who went ahead and warned the former president, wanamwambia, we don't fear you, the war drums are being beaten.
Agree with me that there is something fundamentally wrong with opposition without any viable alternative, whose only purpose is division, conflict, and anarchy. There is something wrong with litigation sponsored by hostage-taking vested interests with the sole aim to delay, derail, and sabotage the delivery of public programs and defeat public interest.
Now, Rais yule alitoka wa Kenya, our former president. Wacha nikuulize kwa heshima, wewe umekuwa ukihadaa wa Kenya, unatoa pesa ya maandamano. Katika zile maneno yote ya makoti, you've been sponsoring even the court cases to derail the plan of our president and this government. Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, tafadhali, wa Kenya walikupea miaka 10. Ile kitu unafanya ukiamuka asubuhi ni kushukuru wa Kenya. Wacha maneno ya kila siku unapanga maneno ya kufuruga serikali. Because we know clearly you are the one behind all these shenanigans, you are the one who have been funding them. Na pia nikueleze, wewe ukiwa rais, you sabotaged the housing project of your own government for selfish reasons. You are developing a city called Northlands in Kiambu County. Na hiyo city yako ndio ilifanya ufuruge mpango ya housing project when you are president, so that uweke your interest and the interest of your businesses ahead of the Kenyan interests. Na pia wewe President mustaafu Uhuru Kenyatta, ulitumia kampuni ya China inaitwa CRBC, wakajega barabara huko kwako kwa city wakitumia pesa ya serikali. Ukienda pale Mwihoko, unaona barabara imekata katika shamba yako, imejengwa private road built by public resources. Na hawa wenyewe wakakujegea houses, thousands of houses already there in your land. Wewe fanya biashara yako na uache kusponsor makesi ya kuharibu maneno ambayo inapea hawa wanayuthi wa Kenya kazi. Na wewe umekuwa ukisponsor watu wafanye press conference ati saba hakuna ya kujenga housing projects. If you are generous enough, if you are well meaning, all the land that you have is stolen. You grabbed the land. Wewe shamba yenu yote hakuna receipt mnaweza tuonyesha mlinunua pahali. Kwa hivyo kama unaona ile shamba tunajenga housing project ni kidogo, kata ile uko nayo, kapea hawa wa Kenya hata kama ni mtu eka 5 na bado utaachwa na eka zako za kulisha ng'ondu na ng'ombe yako. Lakini uache kuhadaa wa Kenya, na hatukuogopi bana. You must stop sabotaging the government agenda. Be selfless. Kenyans gave you the best prize that any civilian can be given. You should be grateful to Kenyans, sio kusabotage mipango ambayo inawapea makazi.
Listening to both William Ruto and Ndindi Nyoro, you can safely conclude that these people are ready for war. And this is because ever since Uhuru Kenyatta came back into the country, they had wanted a dialogue with Uhuru Kenyatta. They have sent emissaries, including the ambassador of the US, Meg Whitman, who tried talking to Uhuru Kenyatta. They sent Neil Wigan, who is the UK ambassador, UK High Commissioner to Kenya. And Uhuru has declined to accept dialogue with this government. He has refused to embrace the National Dialogue Report, saying very categorically that the interests of Kenyans were not taken into consideration, especially the high cost of living was never tackled at all. And Uhuru is saying, according to reports, that he cannot accept a report that does not contain the will of the people. He goes ahead to say that the interest of especially Mount Kenyans of 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote was never taken care of. He had expected that this was going to be contained in this very document. And failure to contain or to consider all this, he has refused to embrace this report. William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua have tried all they can so that Uhuru can give them the elusive legitimacy that they deserve. But Uhuru has refused. It is said that ever since Uhuru Kenyatta handed over power to them, he has never congratulated them. And this is something that makes them angry when they think of it. I heard one of the Kenya Kwanza bloggers saying that Uhuru congratulated the president of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, but he has never congratulated William Samoei Ruto. And in a quick rejoinder, there was some battle in the social media. Some of the Azimio supporters were saying that Uhuru cannot support someone he knows very well did not win. But then if he knew he didn't win, why did he hand over power? So it's a discussion that I don't want to get into. But these are the reasons why they have decided to draw a battle line and they have started sending missiles. For those who listen to this channel, I have always said that sometimes we ignore the red alerts. And I want to give you the most recent red alert that we ignored, and it was mayhem. It is like a year ago when Ndindi Nyoro, Kimani Ichung'wah, and Rigathi Gachagua warned Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta that if they went ahead with their demonstrations and continue to destroy people's businesses, then they would come for them. And people thought, really? We know that demonstrations are not meant to demolish people's businesses. It is the police that sometimes provoke the demonstrators. And we didn't imagine that the leaders could condescend to a level where they attack each other. And in our very face, we saw goons invade Uhuru's Northland farm, burning it, cutting down trees, and taking away the sheep that was there. It is a scene that shocked many, and many still don't believe that it happened. Now today, when you listen to the speech, William Ruto is saying that Uhuru Kenyatta is sponsoring, or rather Uhuru has taken hostage the opposition, and he is the one sponsoring all their activities. People went to the street, ladies and gentlemen, because they wanted to compel the government to lower the cost of living, to lower the cost of petroleum products. Uhuru never told anyone to go to the streets. In fact, Uhuru family, Raila family, does not feel the pangs of hunger. They can afford the most expensive prices of basic commodities, of petroleum products. They might decide, they can even decide to sit pretty and watch Kenyans suffer. And so let us try to put things straight. Kenyans went to the streets because, number one, it is allowed in the constitution. Number two, they wanted to compel the government to listen to them. So let no one lie to us that it is Uhuru who was sponsoring the demonstrations. Azimio supporters were never given money to go to the streets. They went there voluntarily because they wanted the government to listen to them. And this is the reason that why I have a feeling that they will soon target Uhuru businesses. Because if you listened to Ndindi Nyoro, he's even going ahead and saying that Uhuru diverted projects to the Northland city. You remember the Northland farm? Now Northland is coming here again. And he's saying that Uhuru should donate some part of their land so that the affordable houses can be built. I can assure you that this is a narrative that is being choreographed, being coiled, being perpetuated to meet a particular goal. Because they are now starting a class war. William Ruto has sworn and vowed that he's not letting go the housing project because he has set his mind and his eyes on the money. For the very few months that they collected the housing levy, they have seen it was put in a pool, and they have realized that this is a money minting sector, and they are not going to let go. And what they have started is a class war. Just the same way they told Kenyans that Uhuru stole land, and so they charged youths to go and take part of that land. Just the same way they say some Kenyans are hustlers, others are dynasty. They have started this war, and very soon you will see people going to demand to be given land or to take by force land that belongs to the Kenyatta family. They have started it. You've seen them saying hatukuogopi. I have never seen anywhere Uhuru telling them hatukuogopi ama tunataka vita, because the last time I checked, Uhuru has a right to accept the NADCO report or to refute it. Uhuru has a right to accept and to embrace William Samoei Ruto or refuse dialogue, because the best and the most respectable thing that Uhuru did was to hand over power peacefully according to our constitution. But they can never force Uhuru Kenyatta to work with William Samoei Ruto. William Ruto, if we talk of sabotage, is the one who started this sabotage when they were in their second term with Uhuru Kenyatta. They have continued to blame him for every problem that we have, yet they still beckon him so that they can come and work together. You cannot do that. When you come for justice, you must come with clean hands. So with this, they cannot blame Uhuru. Uhuru has a right to join any political formation. The rules are very clear. He must desist from active politics if he has to get his retirement benefits. But associating with these friends like Kalonzo Musyoka, Raila Odinga, Wamalwa is never a problem at all. So they cannot force it. They know very well that Raila had said that people will soon go back to the streets to demand their rights. And if there is something that can cause William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua sleepless nights, is the idea of going back to the streets, because they had said they lose 2 billion Kenya shillings per day. And this is why they want to show us that those who do not want the housing levy are the rich. And now they are saying that the poor wants the jobs that comes with the construction of these buildings. They want to divide some people in classes so that they start looking at people who are rich as obstacles to their development, obstacles to them putting food on the table. For them to avert this kind of demonstrations, they will charge a particular class of people who will meet those who are going for demonstrations, because always they make sure that they use the divide and rule kind of tactics. I wonder what is going to happen with the judges, because already they had ruled that this is illegal. And in the appellate court, I will not be surprised if the Court of Appeal shall set aside or put aside the ruling of the High Court, because they have been threatened. William Ruto said he had a sword. He has a sword that will not be used for cutting down Sukuma Wiki, but will be used to deal with those who are opposed to his development agenda. And so when you see him talking about this, and you see people like Ndindi Nyoro, they want to intimidate the judges. They want to intimidate those who are going to courts. And this is why they have started. I don't know why they so believe that it is Uhuru Kenyatta who is sponsoring these things. I don't think Uhuru Kenyatta sponsored Okiya Mutata to go to the court. In fact, during public participation, Kenyans made it very clear that they were not ready for this housing levy. And they said that this should wait so that maybe we try and build the economy to a standard where people can now start paying for this housing levy. But they rushed with it. They ignored the views of Kenyans, and they went ahead, cajoled parliament to pass the bill into an act now. William Ruto cannot afford even to imagine that Uhuru Kenyatta has taken hostage the opposition. Opposition has been active even when Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto was in power. Back then, who was sponsoring the opposition? And he cannot say that opposition has been captured. If there is a state capture that we have seen, it is in this government. Both the courts, parliament, the DPP, the DCI, all of these institutions that are supposed to be independent have been captured, and they dance to the tune of the executive. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this kind of attack is meant to intimidate, is a warning, but I don't think Kenyans will be cowed. Kenyans have decided liwe liwalo. And Uhuru has said, mimi siogopi, wacha wafanye venye wanataka. And we are waiting, because I will not be surprised if youths invade one of Uhuru's land. I will not be surprised if one of his sons are found with illegal firearms. I will not be shocked at all, because the government is scared. They know very well that the plans are failing, and it is their policies that have failed, and they cannot blame it on anyone. As usual, they cannot confront their challenges, and they want to blame people for their failed state. And it is high time they change their tactics, because Kenyans can see. We are not blind. They can see. And Uhuru Kenyatta must take some of these threats very seriously, because sooner than soonest, I know they are going to cause mayhem in the country. They are not ready for peace at all.